When it comes to cardio, guys, I hate repetition. I hate doing the same routine day after day after day. I think variety is super important. It challenges your body constantly to adapt to new situations. The problem for most people is they only have 1, 2, 3 sprinting routines that they utilize. I have come up with over 15, and today I'm going to share with you guys one of my favorite, which involves a little bit of strength training plus the sprinting, which we normally do. We're heading out to the beach. My brother and I are going to do a couple sprint competitions, see who can come out on top, and show you guys this new awesome drill.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, it's great to have you. Now, I've had so many requests to show people my strength routine. It's not something I focus on the most, but one of the things I do love to do, aside from just doing, flat out strength training, is find something to fatigue the body while doing a cardio routine at the same time. I like the mix because in fighting, in my opinion, it's never just strength and it's never just cardio. It's often both of those things together. So if you can combine some high heart rate activity with something that's going to burn down your shoulder, your legs, whatever, with a little bit of strength, in my opinion, it's perfect. So guys, let's head over to the beach. Let's take a look at this drill. I'm going to start with a hand weight, preferably something between 8 and 15 pounds. I'm going to load that hand weight up by my head, and just like a punch, I'm going to launch it as far away from my body as I can. The further I can get it away, the better. Then I sprint to that weight. I drop my knee, so I'm keeping my back straight. I pick the weight back up, and then once again, I launch it. The idea of this whole drill is to be 100% explosive. When you launch that weight as far as you can, you're engaging the same muscles as a punch. It's just like your 100% power punch. As soon as you let go of the weight, you sprint as fast as you can to it. I really like sprints where it's fast and then stop, and then fast and stop, because that's what the fight is often. You're banging away and then you back away, or your opponent escapes. You got to go and sort of chase them down. So on this particular routine, we are going from launching, like your hardest punch, to then sprinting as fast as you can, picking the weight up, launching it. And what I like to do is set a distance. Let's say if we start here, somewhere between 50 meters to 100 meters. Now you can certainly do this drill by yourself, but even better is to have a partner. My brother and I are going to demonstrate round number 1 for you right now. So as you guys saw there, my brother got the edge on me in this one. He's a fantastic runner. He's a little bigger than me. He was popping that weight out a little further. We're going at a relatively short distance right now. It only took us about 25 seconds to get from one end to the other. If you wanted to double that distance, you'd be talking closer to a minute just because you're going to slow up a little bit. I would say at the beginning of your fight camp, start off with something about 50 meters, and bit by bit every week as you get further and further in camp, lengthen it to that point where you're doing the 100 meters. Now it's best to do this drill either number 1 on sand or number 2 on grass. That way you don't have to worry about the weights hitting and continually skipping, giving you more of an advantage, less running time, but also you're not going to bang your weights up and have to get new ones really quickly. Those soft surfaces, when the weight hits and they just stop, it's perfect. So guys, let's move into round number 2 and see if I can get a win on this sprint. Man, foiled again, and my brother's not even training full time. I mean, neither am I right now because I don't have a fight coming up, but he's just so athletic. He can keep up with me most of the time, even when I'm in fight camp. When you guys are doing this drill, be extra cautious. I've already mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but extra cautious about keeping your back straight when you drop down to lift up the weight. It's not bend the back, it's bend the knee, grab the weight, hoist it up, and then come out of your lunge. Before we move into round number 3, let's talk quickly about how many of these you should be doing. If I was outside of fight camp, which I am right now, or just in the beginning stages of fight camp, I would be doing 4 to 6 of these. Between each one, I would suggest taking somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute break. Probably a minute if you're early in fight camp, but as you get later on, try to take less of a break so that your recovery time is able to build and build. I always try and emphasize in my running that my recovery time decreases. I'm not always able because I stay in pretty good shape. Let's say if I'm running a 400-meter sprint, I'm not really cutting off lots of time. It's not like I start off training camp at a minute and 30 seconds, and then by the end of training camp, I'm almost at a minute. It's kind of like at the beginning of training camp, it takes me about a minute and 15 seconds to get around the oval, but then at the end of training camp, it's more like 102 to 105. But the big difference is the recovery time. At the beginning, I probably take 2 minutes. When I get to the end of training camp, I only take 1 minute on my 400-meter sprints. Same thing here. You can start with the 1 minute and knock down to 30 seconds as you get further on and you get in better shape. Let's move into sprint number 3, guys. Take a look, see how I do. All right, guys, if you're running with a partner like I am with my brother, it's very easy to stay motivated. You just sprint as fast as you can and you try to stay ahead of that guy. But if you're on your own, it's easy to lack motivation. So how do we stay motivated when we don't have somebody beside us, somebody who's trying to pass us? Well, what I like to do is I like to set a timer. But a lot of times, if your phone is back here and you sprint in that direction, you have no idea what time you're doing. So I'll go 25 meters one way and then 25 meters back. And if the first time it takes me, let's say 30 seconds to get there and back, the second time after my break, I make sure I don't go any slower. And same for the third time and the fourth time. Set a line over here. As soon as your weight crosses the line, you grab it and you start hucking it back. Remember, this style sprint is all about 100%. And I love it because it's got that sprint motion, that little pause, that explosiveness, right back to the sprint. Everything is just like a fight. Last round, guys, let's check it out. All right, I finally got a win, 1 out of 4. That's not great, but he is a good runner. He's a fast runner, and he's a little bigger than me, so he's hucking that weight. So I'm happy to get 1 out of 4 at least. Try to be creative with your running routine, guys. I did the same run for so many years, and I just got sick of it. I started hating it. I would just not want to go out and do the run. Obviously, I would, but it wasn't enjoyable. And then I started going, as I got further in my career, you know, maybe I can mix things up, change the routine a little bit, be a little creative. Once I did that, once my routine changed from like 3 runs up to more like 30 possible runs, it's just so much more fun to get out. Number 1, it allows me to see new places. Sometimes I run stairs, sometimes I run hills, sometimes I do flats, sometimes I'm at the soccer field, the beach, the track. I'm never going to the same spot. I'm never going, oh, I absolutely hate this location because I've seen it the last 60 times in a row I went running. I like that variety. I appreciate it. It makes me enjoy the whole experience that much more. I think I covered everything about this routine. If you have any questions on it, anything I didn't cover today, make sure you comment down below. Just drop your question. I'll get back to you. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you haven't already, get subscribed. I want to see everybody out there hucking weights, sprinting as fast as you can, training hard like I always ask you to do. Guys, I'll see you back here soon for another video.